It started as something innocent. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Because sometimes, the line between care and curiosity is so thin, you don't even notice when you've already crossed it. I never thought I'd tell this story, but silence has its limits. It was one of those quiet afternoons when the house felt too still, too heavy with unspoken things. The air carried a faint trace of eucalyptus and warm oil, soft and clean like calm before a storm. Ethan sat on the massage table, his back bare, his shoulders tight from days of long hours and sleepless nights. He looked exhausted, yet peaceful in that half-lit room. I told him I'd arranged something to help him relax, that he deserved a little time for himself. He smiled, trusting me, always trusting me. He didn't know what I had in mind. Not really. Just breathe, I whispered, brushing a towel near his shoulder. This is your surprise. His eyes closed, his chest rising with a quiet exhale. He believed I was simply helping him unwind. He didn't know she was standing right behind him. Her name was Maya, poised, calm, confident in a way that came from experience. I'd met her at a wellness retreat a few months earlier. She had a way of reading people, of sensing what they needed without a single word. When I reached out to her, I wasn't sure what I was asking for. A massage? An experience? A test? Maybe all of it. Maya stepped closer, her voice low, steady. You said his tense around the shoulders? I nodded, stepping back just enough to watch. She started gently, her movements deliberate and professional, but there was something in her rhythm that felt personal. Her hands glided slowly, never hurried, and the air around us thickened with something unspoken. Ethan sighed, muscles easing under her touch. He thought I'd left the room. He didn't realize I was sitting in the armchair just behind him, watching the whole thing unfold. The room felt suspended, like time had slowed just to test us. I watched his breathing deepen, his body surrendering to the calm she created. Maya didn't look at me at first, her focus locked on him. But when she finally glanced my way, there was something in her eyes, a silent question. Was this okay? I gave her the faintest nod. Her hands continued, soft but sure. Every motion was precise, graceful. Ethan shifted slightly, a small movement, but I noticed. His hand twitched, deliberate, not accidental. His body was starting to recognize something it couldn't name. Then, softly, Maya spoke. I think I've got the technique down better than you described, she said, her tone light, teasing. Ethan's brow lifted just enough to show he'd heard. A spark of awareness flickered across his face. He didn't speak, he just listened, his body reacting before his mind caught up. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees, my heartbeat steady but quick. He didn't know what this was yet. But he was starting to feel it. When Maya moved her hand to his shoulder, his breath hitched barely, but enough for me to see. She was calm, collected, her movements fluid as water. I rose slowly and crossed the room, standing just beside the table. He opened his eyes for a moment when I touched his arm. His gaze flickered between us, confusion, curiosity, and something deeper blending together. It's okay, I whispered. Just, relax. He exhaled. His lips parted slightly, a hint of realization dawning. Maya kept moving, her tone unwavering, her control absolute. She leaned closer, whispering something into his ear, too soft for me to catch. But I saw what it did to him. His whole body stilled. Then she met my eyes again, silently asking for permission. I stepped closer, brushing my fingers along his jaw until his face turned toward mine. I didn't bring her here for me, I said quietly. I did this for you. He blinked, trying to process, but his body already understood. His hand flexed against the table, his breathing steady but uneven, a man caught between disbelief and desire. Maya moved to his side, her presence like a calm tide. The towel stayed in place, every motion deliberate and respectful. She folded it neatly, never breaking her rhythm. I sat beside him, my hand resting on his shoulder. He turned his head toward me, his eyes open now, no longer confused, but clear. She's with us, I whispered. Something shifted in the air. Not scandal, not guilt, just honesty. Maya leaned close again, guiding him with gentle touch. He didn't resist, he simply followed, breathing through each quiet second. The room was silent except for the soft sounds of motion and the faint creak of the table beneath him. His heartbeat echoed beneath my fingertips, strong and real. His chest rose, steadying as he let go of whatever hesitation was left. Maya's movements slowed. She placed her hands over his, grounding him. He didn't pull away. I brushed my lips against his temple. "Just breathe," I whispered. His fingers curled around mine, his grip warm, certain. For a moment, none of us moved. The air held us in place, a perfect, trembling balance between connection and restraint. He looked at me, eyes soft but wide, and whispered my name. His voice was calm, grateful, maybe even changed. I smiled, feeling the same shift inside me. Something had broken open, not a boundary, but a truth. We stayed there, the three of us, suspended in a stillness that said everything words couldn't. No explanations. No labels. Just understanding, raw, quiet, undeniable. When Maya finally stepped back, she wiped her hands, offered a small smile, and left the room without a sound. Ethan sat up slowly, his eyes searching mine. "Why?" he asked softly. I brushed his hair back from his forehead, smiling faintly. "Because sometimes," I said, "the best way to help someone is to let them feel something they've forgotten." He nodded, not speaking, just breathing, just being. And as I watched him, I realized the truth I hadn't been ready to admit until now. I hadn't just helped him heal. I'd reminded us both what it felt like to be alive.